This is the day after Sabbath in Marshall, Abaco, Bahamas, the 28th day of February 2021. And the biggest story coming out of Abaco on this day, no other news people have it, The Guardian, The Tribune, the most read newspaper in the Bahamas, The Punch, ZNS doesn't have it, Radio Abaco, Bahama Christian Network don't have it, Channel 12 don't have it. No other network in the Bahamas have this story. And this is supposed to be breaking news, headline, the oppositions, all 12 independent groups that running to succeed this absolutely weightless F&M government ought to have had this story, ought to have been working on this story. In most countries, this would be the breaking down and the ending of a bad administration. We went through hell and high water and still feeling the brunt of Hurricane Dorian just because of this ruthless F&M government. This story that I have been talking about that nobody has grabbed on to yet is the biggest news out of Abaco and in Abaco. That Minister Henfield ought to resign. James Albury already resigned. I don't know what they're waiting on. And the Prime Minister ought to offer his resignation forthwith. Because of this, not breaking news, the news already been broken. Time and time again on WCAY by and with Kai Mills. All opposition to this F&M government that want to replace this absolutely uncaring, heartless F&M government ought to have been working on this story from the beginning. This story started 1 year and 4 months, 1 year and 5 months to date. You imagine that the government couldn't bury their dead in 9 months. They not only couldn't bury them, they haven't given you the number of people that have died. They don't care. The good news is the casket that I have been reporting about for 17 months has just been disappeared. I don't know if they put it on the ground or they throw it to the dump, but it's disappeared of the graveyard. I'm trying to find traces of what they did with it, but that is not the story. Sometimes I go off track, but I want to remain focused here. This is breaking news. This is the biggest news coming out of Abaco. That the government of the Bahamas has promoted or demoted Hiram Lewis. Hiram Lewis has the money for the reconstruction of the homes that the government of the Bahamas were gonna rebuild or help to rebuild. They ain't gonna rebuild nothing, they're gonna help to rebuild. 10,000 is the most that they were given. That only gets you in trouble. That can't rebuild nothing. But the minister in charge of hurricane reconstruction, Hiram Lewis, from August of 2020, haven't put the monies into the accounts of the people that it was meant for. And now he's gotten a new ministry. Boy. Now come now. If Hiram Lewis did as bad as he did with the reconstruction of the hurricane victims' relief funds in Abaco, only one good thing about him being the Minister of Sport is he have a very short time to screw that up. But screw the other ministry he did. Can't find no money. But that still is not the breaking news that Kai Mills is talking about. The news I'm talking about is that some homeowners of Bakers Bay have given the government of the Bahamas 15 to 19 million. They still haven't came clear yet, but it's on the amount is 15 to 19 million to build 47 homes. Bakers Bay is paying for the labor and the material. 1 year and 5 months. That's the breaking news. 1 year and 5 months. Minister of Foreign Affairs Darren Henfield has people going into his office, putting their names down. It must be hundreds of names by now. What we want to know, why have the illegal Haitians built 150 illegal homes in North Abaco since Bakers Bay have given the government 15 to 19 million? The Haitians didn't get 1 million, but they already leaps and bound ahead of the government by already constructing 150 illegal structures with solar panels and generators. And the government of the Bahamas, 1 year and 5 months, is still holding on to the monies. Let me help you here, Darren Henfield. You don't need to clear land for the homes. It's so sad that after 4 years of being the member of parliament, you don't know Abaco and you know the people that was affected. I could go in Spring City and name every home that been destroyed and name the occupants that used to live in those homes. I could go in Dundastan, Central Pines, and Murphytown and show where there was a home with people living before the hurricane. And I could tell you of the occupants that used to live in those structures. We don't need you to build or grade no property to put them on government land. All you have to do, these people could prove that they own the land and this is where their house was destroyed. Wow. That's one of these wild moments. It's not so brilliant by Kai to figure that out when the F&M government haven't figured it out in 1 year and 5 months. Rebuild the house on the people's property. They already have quick access to water and electricity. They don't need to go on no foreign land. This is where they've been for decades. Why have it taken so long? Where and what is the government going to do about this? How much money has been allocated? Dr. Marshall is right in the middle of all of this. The little birdie is coming out of Exuma and said Dr. Livingston Marshall is trying to get his cousin from Exuma to put that money through his account. And you know how water flows downstream. They are trying to figure out how to rob and to steal the monies that was allocated a whopping 1 year and 5 months ago. Not a nail has been knocked on this free, absolutely free giveaway. That is the best thing that have happened for Abaco and to Abaconians since Hurricane Dorian. If that big conjunction, if the government met well, These houses should have been finished 1 year and 5 months. And the Haitians have already built 150, and they didn't have 1 million. The government of the Commonwealth of the Bahamas have 15 to 19 million to only construct 47 homes and not one plank. The ground has not been cleared. Why does the ground have to be cleared when they can put them on the same property where the people used to live? That would have been so brilliant if we had an honest, transparent government that have a heart and a soul for Abaco. But so far, the government, our member of parliament, our minister Darren Henfield, has not a heart nor a soul. He has people going there to date. 1 year, 4 months, filling out paperwork, and they don't have one single care about reconstructing these houses. How could it be? This breaking news of 15 to 19 million, no newscasts in the Bahamas, no opposition, no independent has gotten a hold of this breaking story. Big news, big money. I hope to God that the FNM government is not that weightless that they're going to use Bakers Bay money that they give the people to campaign, to regain power. I hope and pray to God that the FNM government is not this weightless and low. But that is the breaking news. Coming to you live on a Sunday, the day after Sabbath, in Abaco on WCAY. When will the people see the monies that were allocated for them after the storm? 1 year, 5 months, not a word from this uncaring, heartless, weightless FNM government. And our minister, our MP, Darren Henfield, is visibly quiet while he's hidden the rest of the lumbers that belongs to the material that belongs to Abaco. Darren Henfield still got them under security in the pine forest of Spring City. Kai cares. That's why I'm reminding you of a government that ought never be returned to power, because Kai cares. That's why he's here.